Welcome back to the fucking ridiculous podcast. It's episode 36, which should have happened last week, but didn't. And that is all on me. I was traveling. I had every intention to film and put this like real cute montage thing together, detailing spring break, and that all went to shit. So I hope you enjoyed your week off, and I hope you missed me a little bit, and I so appreciate you tuning back in. I am filming from my home right now, and this is what I look like on a normal basis. Now, I pulled a Britney, and I like got my hair cut way too short, and now I'm like, fuck. So I'm gonna have to like get some of those prenatal vitamins to start getting it to grow faster, because now I'm like not liking it so short. And I don't know if it's like the puffiness and the weight that I put on from being, eating salt and drinking and stuff over spring break, or if it's just me getting fat. I don't know. But either way, I'm not loving the whole look. So thanks for bearing with me. I was told that red was a good color for me, but I only have 2 items that are red and the other one was dirty. So now I'm just wearing this like big honkin' boy sweatshirt, and it is what it is. Apparently it is snowing in California, which is crazy. It is flooding places. There is a tropical storm that's like hit Africa 2 times now in a month. I don't understand. Mother Nature is super duper upset. I came from Utah, and they said that's the most snow they've had or seen in like 40 years, which is amazing. And I was so impressed with the entire city and state, the way that they handle snow. Because here in Richmond, if we get like any freezing rain, everything is shut down. Everybody needs to go home. You need to stop your car right on the road. You can't go any farther because we're all fucked. Shout outs. My first shout out is to Maya, my professional amateur horseback showing rider, daughter of one of my best friends. She fell off her horse and crushed, like, I think fractured her hip. So I don't even know if she had to get a new hip and then she and I are bionic twins now or what, but I wish you the speediest recovery. Do everything that they say to do, and I'm so impressed that the day you get out of the hospital, you're back there with your horse. So get well soon. Second shout out. I suck at reading comments. Even though I ask people to comment and I ask people to like leave reviews and stuff, I suck at checking them because I kind of suck at social in general. However, I did see this one from Mick and Shauna, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. I love you guys too, and I really appreciate you listening and leaving a comment. Shout out to Liz in Park City. We had the best time with you, and thank you so much for picking us up from the airport and driving around in the snow and doing donuts. That was super awesome. Shout out to the following employees at the finest resort in Punta Cana. Shaky Shaky, Cassandra, Brian with a Y, and Andy. You guys made my time there very fun and easy. And so for that, I say yay. Thank you. What I'm loving this week, the National Ability Center, NAC for short, and they're like the premier adaptive sports organization that you would ever want to model yours should you start one after. They have everything. They will cater to any age and all abilities, and it's awesome. And so our daughter participated and skied every day with them, and it was amazing. She's participated in other adaptive ski schools, and this by far just blew it out of the water. They were wonderful. So thank you, especially Savannah. If I could adopt you and bring you home, I would, because oh my gosh, you gave me the best tip ever. Thank you. Quote of the week. It's now going to become the quote of the day, because not every day for me is the same as I'm sure for you. And yesterday was actually like a really shitty day, which is another reason I did not record, because I just was feeling meh, So today I'm feeling much better. I woke up and I was like taking on the day. As everyone knows, from if you've ever been out of town and you come back to your job, It's reentry's a bitch. Reentry just kicks you in the dick or the tit, and it sucks. So you're always playing catch up, and that's what I've been doing. But today I woke up and I looked at my adult coloring calendar that the favorite gave to me for Christmas. And today's quote, March 15th, is fuck them, achieve greatness. And I actually took the time to color the whole thing in this morning. I was like, I'm gonna just do that. And I'm not a great colorer. I will show you the picture. But this resonated with me because I have been going back and forth about, should I just stop doing the podcast completely? This is going nowhere. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I should just like go get a job bartending again. Like all these crazy thoughts going through my head of like, what am I doing with my life? Oh my gosh, my kids are late. All of that. So when I read this morning, I was like, fuck that. Achieve greatness. So I'm not saying that I'm great. I'm not saying that this is great. I'm just saying that was the encouragement for me to say, you know what? I'm going to continue this and I'm going to move full steam ahead. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it, because you absolutely can. This whole thing with SVB, the Silicon Valley Bank. So I was talking with my trusty financial advisor, and he has a great way of like dumbing things down. Much like I explained the debt with time, this is what happened with SVB. In layman's, anyone can understand this terms. The bank is like a refrigerator, and it's stuffed full of beer. And your parents go out of town, and you might have a beer Wednesday night when you're watching a hockey game. And then the next day you might have like one or two more when you're just sitting out on your deck chilling. But then Friday night, a bunch of people come over and they clear it out. The few that you had earlier, your parents weren't going to know. They weren't going to figure that out. But the fact that the whole thing's cleared out and it's empty, that's something they're going to notice. But you know what? They're not going to be home for a week. So you're good. You'll have time to like replenish and do all that. Except they call you and they're like, oh my gosh, our trip got canceled. We're on our way home. We'll see you in an hour. And you're like, holy shit, I can't stock it that fast. So you call your friends and you're like, dude, I need help. And your friends are like, yeah, sorry, I'm at work. Sorry, I'm at school. Sorry, I'm hungover. Like no one can help you. Now you're left standing there with an empty fridge and your parents are going to be like, what the fuck? That's essentially what happened when everybody got wind of the fridge being open and something maybe not being regulated. They got nervous and they went in and they took all their beer out or their money out. There wasn't enough money. So I think we all need some guardrails and some just monitoring, because when left unattended, nothing good happens. Nothing good happens. Fun fact, for those of you who are like, I don't really know what I want to do after high school, there is a pilot shortage and there is an accountant shortage. So if either of those seem up your alley, the big airlines have programs that you can literally go feed right into right out of high school. Accounting is probably a little bit different, and you probably want to like numbers and want to like doing the same thing. The Oscars. So I didn't watch. I used to be such an Oscar junkie, and I don't know. I got out of it because of, I don't know why. I heard it went off fine. I think there's going to be a shift, because I don't know if anyone is caring enough, and I certainly don't think anyone has 3.5 hours to 4 hours to watch an award show. That being said, there were some amazing dresses that I saw. Angela Bassett, I just want to give her a little like props. She's fucking awesome. Total badass. Looked amazing in her purple dress. Everything she does is gold. So I'm not saying she got snubbed. I'm just saying she deserves all the props that she can get. I haven't even seen any of the movies, but I'm definitely going to watch the one that, sweeped. And I did love that the lead actress, I loved her speech, which basically said, don't let anyone tell you you're past your prime. And that's another little key piece of advice. You're never past your prime, because there's always more to do. So a couple of other things in the news. Number one, Ted Lasso's out today. It's the 15th. It's March 15th. So Ted Lasso's out. Reviews are saying it's great. I do not watch The Last of Us. I don't know what it is. I obviously am stupid. I thought it was about zombies. I'm not into zombies, so I didn't watch it. But apparently it was really good. So if you need something to watch, try that out. March Madness is happening. It's really not at all a thing in my household because the University of North Carolina basically shit the bed and did not progress as hoped. Virginia Tech is a very sad little second place, way down as far as the people in my household. So nobody's really caring or watching right now. But I hope if your team is in it, they're crushing it and that you're making money on it and that your bracket is not busted yet. Bed Bath & Beyond is limping along, still there, still trying to get some money going. So if you need a shower curtain liner or a thumper or a shake weight, head to your local Bed Bath & Beyond and you can get that. Oh, okay. So this is actually my favorite story in the news right now. There is a clear message happening and it's not just in the US. This is an international issue. People need more sex. We had the issue with the police department in Tennessee and the girl who was having sex with her boss and then several other officers while on duty. Then we had the story about the two police officers in the car in New York City, and the cops were called on them because they were so loud because they were having sex in the car. And now, over in Britain, there is this cushy jail, and it's you're not in a cell, you're in a room, and you're allowed to actually have your cell phone. And I don't know, it does not sound like jail at all. I guess it was a pilot program to see if they could reform through less stringent requirements. Anyway, they employed some of the hottest prison guards I've ever seen. Many of them just got fired for having affairs and relations with the inmates. This tells me several things. Number one, lack of sex is never a good thing for anyone if they are into that, even slightly. Second of all, our public servants really need physical touch, I think, is their love language. And so I think everyone needs to remember that. And I'm not saying to act on it. I'm just saying maybe if you get pulled over, maybe you give them an attaboy. Maybe you give them a tap on the shoulder. People are needing some physical touch, in particular in the police force and the prisons. And I understand that. And I actually applaud the guards for trying something new. That's one of my favorite stories right now. It's just hilarious. And if you Google it and look up the girls, they're so beautiful. I mean, they're beautiful. I read an article yesterday that was extremely disturbing to me. The governor of Florida, he's targeting this Miami Hyatt. He's trying to take the liquor license because they had a drag queen show. And they had said no one under 18 is allowed, except if they have a grown-up with them or someone over 18 with them. That's basically every R-rated movie when I was growing up. You couldn't go see Porky's or Private Benjamin without a parent or your 18-year-old brother or sister. And now they are basically taking the liquor license from this place because of it, because there were minors there. Now, I don't know the ins and the outs. I was not there, so all I can say is this person has already said you cannot say this word. Now this person is saying you cannot have this show, and you as a grown-up cannot bring someone to this show. Now, a couple of things about this. If you're going to a drag show, you're not just stumbling upon this. That's probably in your wheelhouse of stuff you dig. It could also be a great learning moment. We need to talk about guns and gun safety. We need to talk about social media and bullying. And yes, we need to talk about sexuality and what that means. So I get very upset when someone tells me I cannot do something because I immediately am actually, I am going to eat all of the Twinkies now. You said none of them, I eat all of them. I think everyone needs to stay in their lane a little bit more. That's just my opinion. There are some things that as a human race, we are really not practicing. And patience is certainly one of them. Common sense, gratitude. We just took a super ridiculous trip where my oldest son and I went to a resort in Punta Cana. When you take 18-year-old kids to a place where they can drink and legally, and they can drink all they want, there will be ridiculousness and debauchery and stupid, dumb mistakes. On the good side of this, I'm super pumped because at least there's a parent there. At least they can look out for each other in a safe environment and make some of those mistakes that they need to make that they maybe didn't get a chance to make during COVID when everyone was quarantined to their houses. The flip side of that is they are making all these mistakes. I'm very glad that we went. Didn't really see my son at all. He was great. I enjoyed the following things. Number one, the secret pool. The secret pool was a pool that was not at all a secret, but it just happened to be like tucked away. And me and my girlfriends found this secret pool with a swim up bar, and you could see through the swim up bar to like the other pools and the volleyball court. So you could kind of see your kids, but you also, weren't seen by anyone else. Number two, Aqua Zumba. Oh my God. I mean, I have now found what my retirement gig is going to be. I think I can be like the entertainment director at an all-inclusive resort because we did Aqua Zumba, we did bingo, we did mud therapy, which the pictures of this are awesome. I'm convinced that mud therapy is the way that the citizens of the DR and the employees at this resort just have the best laughs ever, because all they do is they have like this powder stuff, you mix it and make mud, and then you just smear it all over yourself. And then you're supposed to sit out in the sun for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you get in the water and you wash it off. We looked fucking ridiculous. We all did. And it was hilarious. And I literally sat there going, okay, they're not putting the mud on, and they're just laughing at us. So I'm always happy to give someone a laugh. But anyway, the mud therapy, it was supposed to be awesome for my skin and all that. I still look like I'm trapped in a 40-something body, so I don't know how well it worked, or maybe I didn't leave it on long enough. But anyway, mud therapy. We also went on a snorkeling trip, and the guys were amazing who took us out. We actually snorkeled and saw like fish and brain coral, which was super cool. And then we docked in like this party area. And I will say, I gotta give myself some props here, because I was able, a big old boat with a bunch of college kids docked. And so some of them got off, and our boys were out there like throwing the football and stuff. And so some of the guys come over and they're chatting with the college guys and blah, blah, blah. Well, 2 adorable girls. I mean, and by adorable, I mean like smoking hot. They come over, we start chatting. They're like, oh my gosh, you're on spring break. I was like, yeah, the boys are on spring break with their mommies, which is funny in and of itself. Brought them over, they're sitting on the paddleboard, all of our boys are on the boat, and no one makes a move. So later, when we're leaving and we're going back home, I was like, y'all, did you not see the gift that I gave to you? And my son looks at me and goes, oh, I saw. And then everyone else is like, oh, we saw. And I'm like, dude, they were right there. They just sat there waiting for you to talk to them. Nobody made a move. Best wing woman ever right here. So that was lost opportunity. But loved meeting you girls, Maddie and Sophia from Jersey. From the DR, my son and I went to meet the rest of the family, and they were in Utah. And I recognize that this is extremely excessive, sounds very pretentious, but we usually do our family trip for the year at spring break because the summers are crazy and it's just too hard with sports and jobs and all of that. Our younger son wanted no part of the DR debauchery. So he was like, I would really, really like to go skiing again with Dad. We had chosen Park City because our younger son had some friends that were going to be there. And then also we have a family member that lives out there. And so it was like win, 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 win. So it was awesome. I will say, traveling hungover is never a good idea. But traveling hungover when it's your first time sucks. Just pro tip. Okay, I am not the person I'm talking about right now. It was a long trip, but we got there. Let's move over to flying. and travel etiquette, because I feel like this is where everything kind of starts to break down. So I'm giving another shout out to American Airlines. They were fantastic. So great. They handled the weather issues and all the stuff as well as they could. So a couple of takeaways. Number one, if you are traveling with children, I have done this, and I can guarantee anyone with a baby who's traveled on a plane knows what I'm saying. Nobody feels worse than that mom or dad or guardian that has that screaming baby on the plane, and they're trying to do everything that they can to not have a screaming baby. That doesn't bother me at all. I can tune that shit out. I can't even hear them. What I cannot tune out is the parents with the, let's call it 5 and 7, 4 and 6, old enough that maybe they could be spoken to. My son and I had 2 kids behind us that kicked our seats the entire fucking trip. When they were not screaming and yelling at one another, they were playing their video games without headphones, very loud. So you wouldn't know until you'd hear the screaming again, and then you'd be like, oh, I got used to the video game, and now the screaming comes and the kicking comes. And it's going to be bad when the dad is sitting in a different row with the pods in, and the mom is sitting on the end with the kids, and she's already got a drink. And the flight attendant looks over at the kids, it's 9 a.m, and says, oh, look, getting your sugar for the day, because one kid has a huge family pack of Sour Patch Kids and the other one has a family pack of Twizzlers. And I'm like, great. And then when the snacks come down, they order Sprites. What in the absolute fuck? I heard the mom say 3 times the entire flight, shh. If this is your parenting style, it sucks. It sucks, and your kids sucked. And yes, I did take a picture because I wanted to remind myself of how miserable that fucking flight was. Number 2, when they say all electronic devices should be stowed and put away, do not be the asshole that's still on the fucking phone. You are not that important. Number 3, if there's a situation with your seats where you're not all sitting together, or there's someone in your seat, just sit in a seat. Let's get in the air and figure that shit out later. When the plane stops and the ding button goes off, if you jump out of your seat and think you are going to beat anyone else that's in front of you out the door, you are sorely mistaken. You are not the only person on that fucking plane. So stop thinking that you are. I am looking at my face just as I'm talking right now, and this right here is not okay. And so I am wondering if face yoga, which is a thing, actually works. So if anyone has done face yoga, knows about face yoga, can teach me face yoga, or just can comment about face yoga and whether or not it helps to tighten anything, that would be much appreciated. Face yoga not to be mixed up with goat yoga, which unfortunately for me, I did have a little spill on my skis, and there is a chance that I might have a torn meniscus. I know. It's fucking ridiculous. I know. But I can't do goat yoga just yet. That was the moral of that story. In fucking ridiculous fashion, nothing says fuck you like getting your period the day before you're supposed to leave to go on vacation with your 18-year-old son, where you're sharing a room and a bed. So that was fun. That was really fun. Frances and I had a dance party last night, and I will post that on social. And obviously she was exhausted and very hungry, so she found herself a tampon to eat for a snack, and then promptly threw it up this morning when we got up. I hope you had a great week. I hope this was entertaining slightly. All right, remember, it's gonna be fine. All gonna be fine. I'm real close to the camera right now, so I'm gonna back that up and say, it's all gonna be fine. We're in this together. All right.
3, 2, 1.